Hey everyone, I am so excited about today's video. I am filming a dupes video. I'm going to include some products that I think are spot on dupes, and then a couple of products that I think are really good, affordable alternatives to some popular high-end products. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I really don't think you have to spend a lot of money to get high quality products. And in today's video, I was able to dupe some of my favorite expensive products, and I've been loving the drugstore version more than the high-end version for a lot of these products. A lot of you have been asking for like powder dupes, foundation dupes, because I usually dupe, colorful products like cheek products and lip products, and I do have a couple of those as well, but I've been able to find some good complexion products that I can't wait to share. So I hope today's video is helpful for you. If you guys have discovered any new dupes lately or any new affordable alternatives, please share them in the comments below so we can check them out as well. And let's jump into it. Okay, so let me start off with face products. I have a primer, 2 foundations, and 2 powders to share with you. So the primer alternative that I want to share is a good alternative to the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer. This retails for $42, and it's my favorite primer in the entire world. I've repurchased it so many times, and I have not been able to find anything that even comes close to this until now. A few of you guys told me that you tried out the Catrice Prime & Fine Aqua Fresh Hydro Primer, and that it was a really good, affordable alternative to the Smashbox Primerizer. And the more that I use this, the more that I realize it does the exact same thing for me. Both of these primers are so lightweight, so hydrating, so they prep your skin so well for makeup application. The Smashbox Primerizer is a little bit more liquidy, and I find that the Catrice primer almost has more of like a smoothing property to it. So I think that my makeup actually looks better on top of the Catrice primer, and it's a fraction of the cost. The Catrice primer is $7.99, so the Smashbox Primerizer is 6 times the cost, which is crazy. I still love the Smashbox Primerizer, but I recently used it up and I haven't had to go and repurchase it since I got the Catrice one, because when I want a moisturizing primer, this one does the exact same thing. So for a long time, the Urban Decay All Nighter Foundation was my go-to foundation. It is super full coverage, it's very matte, it's very long wearing, and it really just covers every little thing that you want it to cover. It retails for $40. I recently tried the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer, and it is an exact dupe. The second I tried this, I knew that it reminded me of something, and I wore these side by side. I tested them. They apply the same, they wear the same, and it really is an identical dupe, but this one is $9.99, so it is a fourth of the cost. If you're into super long wearing, full coverage matte foundations, check this one out from Milani. It comes in 29 different shades on their website. The Urban Decay comes in 24 shades, so the Milani actually has a better shade range. It's a lot more affordable, and I think I like it a little bit better. Even though they look pretty much identical on the skin, I feel like the Milani just looks a little bit less heavy. But honestly, the formulas are so similar, there really isn't much of a difference in my opinion. So I would recommend going with the Milani one and saving a little bit of money. So these days, I usually reach for something a little bit more lightweight, a little bit more moisturizing, and I've really been loving the Smashbox Studio Skin 15-Hour Wear Hydrating Foundation this year. It's been one of my favorites just because it's very comfortable on the skin. It has a little bit more of like a dewy finish, and it feels nice. It doesn't feel as heavy or as matte as the Urban Decay or Milani foundations. This one retails for $36. So ever since I tried the Flower Beauty Light Illusion, I have to say that it's replaced the Smashbox foundation for me. I do like the Smashbox foundation, but whenever I'm going for more of a dewy, hydrated appearance, the Flower Beauty Light Illusion works just as well. And again, I think I even like it a little bit more than the Smashbox foundation. This one is $13.99. Now, I will say that one big con to the Flower Beauty foundation is that they don't have anywhere near as many shades as they do in the Smashbox foundation. The Smashbox foundation comes in 40 shades and the Flower Beauty foundation only comes in 12 shades. So that's definitely something to consider. I wish they would expand the shade range. That would make it one of the best hydrating foundations on the market because the formula is so good. But if there is a comparable shade between the two, I would recommend picking up the Flower Beauty foundation because it is a lot more affordable and it still gives you that gorgeous, naturally luminous look. The 2 shades that I have are very different, so I'll swatch them next to each other, but they're going to look different on the hands, and I can't really do like a side-by-side wear test because it will be very obvious and noticeable because I don't really have like my perfect shade in either one of them. Okay, so in this video, I was able to dupe like 3 of my all-time favorite products, including my favorite face powder, the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Airbrush Flawless Finish Setting Powder is $45. It is so expensive. And because it is so expensive, I honestly have a little bit of a hard time using this product on an everyday basis. I use a lot of powder. My skin is very oily, so I like to be able to apply as much powder as I want. But when I use this, I feel like I have to use it sparingly because it is so expensive. So even though I love it and I think it makes my skin look insanely beautiful. Like it really does give you an airbrushed finish. The fact that it's so expensive holds me back because I just have a hard time justifying $45 on one powder. So recently I've tested out quite a few powders and I have to tell you guys, this might be a little bit, like I don't know if everyone is going to agree with me on this one, but I honestly think the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Perfecting Powder is a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury powder. The first time I used this, I think I used it on camera and I remember saying that it almost blurred my skin and it gave me a little bit of an airbrushed finish. So after testing this one out, like I've used up an entire powder and this is my second one. I've reached for this over the Charlotte Tilbury powder like 9 times out of 10 because first of all, it's a lot more affordable. This one is $13.99 for the same amount of product, but I really do feel like this one just gives my skin such a nice smooth finish. And when I wear them side by side, my foundation wears the same, it looks the same. This one doesn't do anything so much, what am I trying to say? This one does not perform better than the Flower Beauty one. They really do perform the same, they wear the same. I do think this powder is so beautiful, but I honestly don't think that I'll be repurchasing it since I've discovered the Flower Beauty one. The only thing for me is that the Charlotte Tilbury one matches me a little bit better. The Charlotte Tilbury powder comes in 3 shades. The Flower Beauty powder comes in 4 shades. So, you know, I find that the Flower Beauty one is like slightly too yellow toned, but because it's a lot more affordable and it does the same thing, the texture really is the same for me, I will be sticking with this one for now. Now, if you're a fan of loose setting powders, I have a really good dupe as well. So I've really enjoyed the CoverFX Perfect Setting Powder. I actually purchased this mini version because I had written down the alternative as a dupe months ago, and I hadn't tried this one for a while. So I've been testing them out side by side just to make sure, and I can definitely say that I found a good dupe for this. Ever since I tried the ColourPop No Filter Setting Powder, and I tried this a while ago, like I had this dupe in my note for such a long time. It reminded me of the CoverFX powder, and I really do think it is the perfect dupe. They both have a really beautiful natural texture, so they're not overly matte, they set everything into place, and they're very lightweight and very comfortable. They don't add extra coverage, they don't make your skin look powdery, they just look very smooth, very soft on the skin. So if you're looking for an affordable alternative, I definitely recommend the ColourPop Loose Setting Powder. You essentially get the same amount of product, and the ColourPop's $9, CoverFX is $35. So it's a lot more affordable, and I'm telling you, the texture is so similar, you will not see a difference. I'm going to share a blush dupe with you guys. The Buxom Wanderlust Primer-Infused blushes have been some of my favorite. They retail for $22 each. I love all of the shades, but I've especially been enjoying the shade Seychelles. I know a lot of people are in love with this color, and if you've been wanting to replicate it without spending $22, you might actually already have this dupe in your collection. It is the e.l.f. Baked Blush in the shade Rich Rose. This one is $3. It is so much more affordable. I've always loved the e.l.f. baked blushes. They're very naturally glowy, and that's what makes this Buxom blush so special. It has this very natural luminosity to it. It's such a subtle sheen. It's very naturally glowy on the skin, and I feel like the e.l.f. blush does the exact same thing for a fraction of the price. So not only is the color the same, but the actual like natural luminosity looks the same on the skin. I will say the Buxom blush is slightly more pigmented, so you can really build up the color, but the e.l.f. blush is a little bit more subtle. But when you apply them to the cheeks and you use a light hand with the Buxom blush, you'll get the exact same look. So this one's $3, and if you already own it, you really don't need to run out and purchase the Buxom blush. So over the years, I've shared a lot of dupes for the Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Liner, but I have found another one. So this might be a good alternative for you if you like ColourPop. This one is their BFF Liquid Liner. The Stila one retails for $22. The ColourPop liner is $8. It's a lot more affordable. They're both great felt tip liners that go on easily, stay in place well. I don't find that either one of them really are waterproof, but I do think that they're pretty long lasting. So if you want to purchase a more affordable alternative to the Stila liner, definitely check out this one from ColourPop. Okay, let's finish up with a couple of lip products. I have a lip gloss and a lipstick to share with you. So I have been trying to dupe my favorite lip gloss in the entire world. This one is the Fenty Gloss Bomb in the original shade Fenty Glow. I love this formula, I love this color, and it's been really hard to find both a color and formula dupe. I've been able to find color dupes, but it's been hard to really duplicate the Fenty formula. It is so glossy and so gorgeous. So I picked up this one from Milani. I was in Ulta and it just kind of caught my eye, and I thought even if it wasn't a dupe that I would probably enjoy the gloss. I'm so glad that I grabbed it because in my mind it is the perfect dupe. The Milani Keep It Full Nourishing Lip Plumper in the shade Natural Luster is such a great alternative. So this one retails for $8.99. The Fenty gloss is $18 for the full size. I actually just have a mini version. Now you do get a lot of product in the Fenty gloss. You get 3 ounces for $18. The Milani has 0.13 ounces for $8.99. So when you break it down like price per ounce, they really are very similar in terms of how much you get for the price. But if you're somebody who doesn't go through a lip gloss very often, it just might be a better idea to purchase the Milani one rather than spending $18 in one shot on the Fenty gloss. What's weird about this gloss is that it doesn't look like it's going to be a dupe in the tube. I got home and I was like, that's definitely not a dupe, like when I held them up next to each other. And even when I swatched them, the Milani gloss looks a little bit lighter. The color looks the same on the lips, but the formula is what really got me because I feel like the formula is so similar. It's a little bit of like a thicker, glossy formula. They're both very, very glossy and slippery. It's not a sticky formula, but it gives you that rich, juicy, plump, glossy look that I really haven't been able to find in any other drugstore or affordable alternatives. So again, if you're looking for a more affordable gloss, the Milani one is a great option. Okay, and the last dupe that I want to share is a lipstick dupe. So I do enjoy these Too Faced lipsticks. This is the Peach Kiss Moisture Matte Lipstick in the shade Stop Traffic. It retails for $21. I have to say that this Flower Beauty lipstick, this is their Petal Pout lipstick in the shade Wild Berry, is basically a spot-on dupe. This one retails for $7.99, so it's a lot more affordable. I do love the Petal Pout lipsticks in general. They have cream finishes and matte finishes, but the matte finishes look and perform just as great as these Too Faced lipsticks. The Too Faced lipsticks are great. They're packaged very beautifully. They smell really good, but for $21, you can definitely get a very similar look with a lot more of an affordable alternative. So if you don't want to spend $21 on these, I do recommend checking out the Flower Beauty Petal Pout lipsticks, especially the shade Wild Berry if you are a fan of Stop Traffic. Before I go, I just wanted to share one product that's not a dupe, just because I've been getting a lot of questions about whether or not this product is a dupe lately. I've been talking about the Too Faced Peach Puff Diffused Matte Lip Colors a lot over the past few months. I think they are very creamy, very beautiful, and the packaging is very, well, it's somewhat similar to the NYX Powder Puff Lippies. So I went to Ulta and I picked these up, and I have to say that even though they both have a sponge tip applicator and a little bit more of like a soft diffused matte finish, the formula is just not as good as the Too Faced lipsticks. The Too Faced lipsticks are very long wearing in my opinion. I mean, they would last, they don't necessarily last through like eating and drinking, but they stay in place without really transferring a whole lot. The NYX lipsticks transfer almost immediately, so they don't have that long wearing aspect to them. I mean, they do look pretty on the lips, but they're also a little bit more drying than the Too Faced lipsticks as well. So in this case, I would recommend going with the high-end alternative. I just thought I would throw that in the end of this video because I've been getting a lot of questions as to whether or not the NYX product is a good dupe for the Too Faced product. Okay guys, so that is the end of my video. I hope this video was helpful if you've been wanting to try out any of these high-end products. I just want to be able to save you guys some money wherever possible, and I'm always very particular about which products I mention in these videos because even though there is a more affordable alternative, sometimes the quality isn't there, but with all of these dupes and all of these alternatives, I definitely think you would be satisfied with the more affordable option. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you have any good dupes, any good alternatives, please leave them in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys very soon with a new video. Bye.